It's Monday, August 26th, and here's what's ahead on the Magnet Newsroom.
I'm Meteorologist Amira Robinson, and I'll have what we can expect this week for our weather coming up.
New school year means new teachers. We'll introduce you to one of Magnet's newest teachers, Mr. Sumperl, and have a look at upcoming events as well as the start of the new school year. I'm Ryan Rickstraw.
And I'm Matthew McCoy. And you're in the Magnet Newsroom.
Your stories, your school, your news. Magnet Newsroom starts right now.
Welcome to the newsroom. Thank you for joining us.
We'll get to the stories and much more later on. But we start today's show with a warm welcome to the 2024-2025 school year.
Whether you're a returning student, a freshman, parent or guardian, or a teacher or faculty member, we hope you had all a wonderful, restful, and productive summer and are ready to start the new year strong.
We also want to welcome you to our new virtual studio.
That's right, Matthew. We have a brand new look, a new set, and new graphics. And this just isn't the only background and green screen either. It's an actual set with various parts that you'll see us use in different ways throughout the show.
Can't wait to see it. Now, let's get into our top story today. I'm sure you're familiar with the fact that every student has to take AP Environmental Science. But did you know that someone new is teaching it this year?
Not just anyone, someone whom Magnet is already familiar with. Here's Angel Bristow with more.
I'm standing outside Mr. Coleman's room where he's teaching one of his AP Environmental Science classes. This year marks the first year in over 20 years that the class was taught by a different teacher. And we have a chance to speak to Mr. Coleman on how he'll continue to teach his another tradition. AP Environmental Science, commonly known as APES, is an AP Science class that every novice student must take as a freshman. For over 2 decades, the class was taught by Mrs. Powell, Magnet's longest-serving teacher, and the sponsor of Student Council. But as she nears retirement, her schedule is changing. This includes dropping APES.
All right, so my name is Brandon Coleman, and I'm teaching AP Environmental Science here at Rockdale Magnet School for Science and Technology.
Mr. Coleman has been a research teacher at Magnet for 3 years now. A graduate of Savannah State University, Mr. Coleman actually taught APES before at another school.
I started teaching APES actually in another county, AP Environmental Science in another county. And even before that, I was an environmental scientist. So it comes naturally just to talk about all the units in APES.
And as he now takes the reign as the sole teacher of APES, Mr. Coleman is excited for the future and has a few plans for how he plans to make the class his own.
The main thing that I want students, my freshman students, to take away is that they gain a passion for the environment, that they gain a passion for trying to solve problems within the environment, and hopefully they can go into majors and careers in environmental science. One of the main things that we do in APES, probably twice a unit, maybe 3 times a unit, we'll have labs. Some of them are mini labs. Some of them are labs where we'll go outside and traverse the streams and walk around and look at soil, look at the plants and stuff like that. And I might pose certain questions to them and see if they can work in groups to try to solve those questions. So that's really what APES is, just trying to identify what's going on in today's world and trying to see how we can prolong the Earth and all the features that we have here on Earth and take advantage of that.
Now that actually brings us to today's Magnet Newsroom quiz. Each week, we'll have a trivia question about Magnet. To test what you know about our school, this week's question: what year did Magnet open? Stick around to the end of the show to find out. Reporting from Mr. Coleman's room, Angel Bristow, Magnet Newsroom.
Thanks, Angel. Attention 10th graders. Are you looking for a way to get involved in your community and put something that's related to community service on your resume? Well then, why not apply to be part of the Rockdale Youth Leadership and join the next class of student leaders? Every year, RWL puts together special activities, tours, workshops, and various projects to help teach 10th graders in the county leadership opportunities and training, as well and raises community awareness. This program runs from September until April. Check the link in the description of this video for the application and more information. Applications are due by Friday, August 30th.
Every year at Magnet, the second week of school is known as Alumni Week. During Alumni Week, alumni from various classes and experiences come back to Magnet to reconnect with old teachers, give advice, and take questions to current students. One of those alum was Justin Bromwell from the class of 2020. Justin graduated with a Bachelor of Science from Morehouse last December and is currently working on his PhD at Johns Hopkins. In a statement to us, Justin said in part, "It was a rewarding experience to come back to a school that taught me so much, not only about STEM, but myself. I also spoke about resilience and where it starts and it's not where you have to finish. I was grateful to have had this opportunity." Another alumni that returned during the second week was a familiar face, Logan Sprinkle of the class of 2024. Speaking on his return to Magnet, he said, "It was an amazing experience and I would be able to share what I feel was valuable insight. My main piece of advice was to plan and be organized. I also advise students to join a club, sport, or find a hobby." Thanks to Logan and Justin for both agreeing to provide those statements to us and to every alumni that joined us during Alumni Week.
Miss Kinnon's Intro to Business and Technology class recently got a visitor from across the pond. Virtually, that is. Seniors met with industry experts from the United Kingdom as part of the Apps for Good program. Students in second block pitched their app ideas to Miles Barden, a senior software engineer for the Lego Group, located in London. Students in fourth block met with Martin Standenford, a consultant for major corporations such as the UK's national healthcare system, the National Health Service. All of the businesses students received excellent feedback on their apps from these industry experts.
It's time to check in with meteorologist Amira Robinson, who is outside on the Magnet Newsroom weather deck. How's the weather, Amira?
Hi, Ryan. I'm standing outside, or right now, it's not even 9 o'clock as we're recording, but it is already 71 degrees and the humidity 85%. But it's relatively nice outside, and we haven't seen rain in almost 2 weeks. But can we expect that as we head into this weekend, or can we expect some rain? I'll be back later in the show and we'll find out. Back to you, Ryan, back in the studio.
Thank you, Amira. Looking forward to that. Matthew, let's discuss the results of our first Have Your Say survey.
Good idea. Every episode, we let you have your say on things going on around the school, or just simply short, fun surveys. Last time during our first flash update of the year, we asked you how the new year was going. So, what were those results, Ryan?
100% of respondents said the year is going well for them. When asked to elaborate on their answer, one sophomore wrote, "I like my classes better this year and I'm not a fearful freshman. I've gained more confidence, and as a freshman," wrote, "he likes his teachers enjoying the events the school has put on so far."
Amazing. Thank you to everyone who scanned the QR code last time and for sharing your thoughts. Now let's do it again. This week's Have Your Say quiz is, did you go to the Nacho Gate and game night? This was Magnet's first family event of the year and wants to know what your thoughts of it. Scan the QR code on your screen now, let us know your experience or inexperience, and we'll let you know the results of the survey next time.
Now here's a look at today's other top stories. First, annual fund dues. Every year, the Rockdale Magnet Fund, organization which comprises of Magnet parents and local patrons, requests that each family pay the annual due this year, which will be $220 per student. If your family has multiple Magnet students, every additional student is $120, and a late fee will be applied if not paid by September 30th. The fund helps support students in various ways, including planners, workbooks, class shirts, stools, and cords at graduation, field trip costs, events like Monster Dash and Senior Banquet, even this newscast, and so much more. Dues begin being collected at open house and can be paid at the front office or online. Also, volunteers are needed for various events that the fund puts on every year, such as fall and spring popcorn sales, Monster Dash, Chick-fil-A biscuit sales, and so much more. For questions, email the president of the board, Dr. Simon Christie. Do you have a passion for public speaking or want to help out your fellow student? The Fall Student Wellness Summit is a great way to do both of these things. The Fall Wellness Summit will take place on November 1st. If you think you have a good advice for your peers and want to be a presenter, then sign up. Proposals will be due by September 20th, and it includes the title of your session, details of your topic, and if there are any other presenters. If you are interested, simply scan this QR code. Presenters will be notified on October 1st, and if you're selected, the presentation drafts will be due October 16th. Good luck. And as we begin the new school year, a reminder that clear book bags are required for students in first grade and above in all RCPS schools. Students will carry their laptops in a school-issued, non-transparent laptop bag. Students can bring bags if they're in sports or club like band to store items pertaining to that particular activity, but they must be stored in lockers or designated areas. Mesh book bags, transparent color book bags, and clear book bags with paddled backs are not allowed. Lunch boxes, purses, pencil boxes, etc. don't have to be clear, but they must be no bigger than 6 by 9 inches. If you have any questions, we'll have a link to an FAQ posted by the county in the description of this video.
Now, let's get to know one of our new teachers at Magnet, Mrs. Sumperl. Mrs. Sumperl will be teaching research this year, and here with us now is our studio's founder, Jesus Lopez, with more.
Thanks, Matthew. A few weeks ago, I had the chance to speak to Mrs. Sumperl, one of our newest teachers here at Magnet. Here's my conversation with him. I'm now joined by one of Magnet's newest teachers, Mr. Sumperl. Mr. Sumperl, welcome to the Magnet Newsroom.
I appreciate you having me.
Let's begin by having you introducing yourself to the Magnet family.
Well, as was mentioned, I am Mr. Sumperl. This is actually my 8th year as a teacher, but this will be my first year here in Rockdale County. So I'm looking forward to all the fun stuff we're going to do this year.
Great. Now let's dive right in, sir. Tell us a little bit about your background. Where did you teach before Magnet? What subjects? Things of that nature.
Well, so my background, I actually have 2 degrees. My bachelor's is in chemistry, and my master's is in secondary science education. I started off teaching in Griffin Spalding schools, then kind of moved my way up a little further north to DeKalb, spent a little bit of time in Forsyth, and now kind of brought me down here to Rockdale. Over the course of those years, I've generally taught some mixture of chemistry and physics at kind of pretty much all the levels.
Gotcha. All right. That's interesting. What inspired you to become a teacher in the first place?
Well, in my undergrad, initially the plan was that I would go towards research. And so I actually spent some time as a teaching assistant, and actually I really kind of loved it. So, that kind of diverted me more towards education and, going in, I always kind of wanted to be the teacher that I felt I didn't have. So, get a little bit of science and still helping out with, the science education for the youth.
Gotcha. All right. Let's take a quick break from teaching for a second. Do you have any notable hobbies or interests? Who are you outside of the classroom?
Outside of the classroom, one of my go-to hobbies is actually working on computers. I built my own computer, kind of fell into the role of, the family IT person. But, outside of that, I love listening to music. I'm into all sorts of kind of the dark and spooky. So horror movies are definitely my favorite.
Fascinating. And can you tell us a little bit about how you coming to teach at Magnet and Rockdale County, how that came about?
Well, so as I was kind of looking into kind of a transitioning period out of Forsyth County, I took a little bit of time, did a little bit of self-reflection, and, in that time, I kind of ultimately decided, once this opportunity kind of presented itself, that I thought it would be a great fit, and then, gave me a little bit of that variety, shifting to being more in that research realm. And I think that will certainly make things more interesting from the day to day.
When reflecting on your past teaching experience, do you have any moments that come to mind when you had to sort of adjust your teaching style to meet a diverse set of learners?
Yeah, I would probably say, oh goodness, what year was it? It was probably my 3rd year as a teacher. I was trying to do a demonstration right at kind of the beginning of the year, just to try to get the kids kind of interested in chemistry. And so, I done it with my first period. It didn't quite work out as well as I hoped. So I tried to try to zhuzh it up a little bit and, make it a little more interesting. And I think I overshot it and spewed acid all over the counters. And it very quickly turned into a lesson on safety.
My apologies. Now, of course, you'll be teaching research here at Magnet, something that's unique to our school. How do you plan on helping freshmen create projects and supporting students with existing projects this new school year?
Well, so I would definitely I'm not an expert in everything, so I'll certainly be, for those kind of sophomores, kind of to the seniors, them, I'll be, trying to help connect them with either different teachers who maybe have an expertise kind of outside of my own, and try to help push them to be a little more kind of independent with, gathering all the things that they need, kind of more on a facilitating side. For the freshmen, I'm definitely going to be trying to push them towards, trying to develop their research project around something they like. Because from my experience, if you like what you're looking into, you'll be more dedicated to kind of dive in to the nitty-gritty of it.
That's a good strategy. And as a senior myself, when reflecting on me being a freshman, the seniors at the time would often say, do something that you like, because you're going to be stuck with it for the rest until January. So might as well do it on something that you enjoy. And as we get started with the new school year and you get adjusted to the Magnet lifestyle, what are some goals that you have for yourself, personally and professionally?
Being here at Magnet, especially with the research side, this will kind of be a whole new venture, and, trying to focus on growing myself as a teacher in, the kind of shifts that come with, in that research, everyone kind of doing their own thing. So definitely be working on, trying to work on, making sure I can facilitate everybody's needs in that diversity.
And it's gone a little bit off of what you just said. From your teaching experience, how do you create an inclusive and supportive classroom environment?
I always kind of strive to make sure that, when I'm working with really any student, that, I focus on trying to really kind of get to know them and their background to, be able to kind of understand a little bit more of where they're coming from. And, I can kind of work around that because, every student's different. So, what works for one won't work for another.
And finally, sir, to wrap this interview up, what do you enjoy most about teaching?
I think for me, and I think really what was kind of the spark into enjoying education was, being able to kind of facilitate those kind of like aha moments. One of my favorite kind of moments when I kind of moved into the classroom myself, I had students doing a little activity where, they were melting ice. Fairly simple, but, I kind of set it up in a way that just kind of subverted all of their expectations. It's those kind of reactions that really I enjoy.
Mr. Sumperl, that was a great interview. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this with us. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy pre-planning to speak with us, and welcome to Magnet.
I appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
Thanks to Mr. Sumperl for taking time out of his pre-planning to speak with us. Moving on, here are some stories involving the school system that broke over the summer break. In June, the Board of Education approved a budget for this school year. The new budget, according to the district, focuses on, quote, addressing student needs and remaining competitive with recruitment and retention of teachers. The budget comes to a total of $221 million, an increase of $6 million. In addition, earlier in the year, Governor Kemp signed the state budget, which gives all teachers a raise of $2,500. RCPS has extended this raise to all of its employees. Also involving the Board of Education, on June 18th, a runoff was held between the incumbent Manny North and local businessman Larry Cox. Cox was elected to the board, defeating North 56% to 43%. Cox's main running points during his campaign were getting a new superintendent, reduce the budget by 20% over a 4-year period, and reestablish discipline in the classroom. Cox will be sworn into office in January. This school year, all RCPS students will receive free breakfast and lunch, and families will no longer have to add money on their students' accounts or submit a free or reduced meals application. This is being funded through the Community Eligibility Provision, or CEP, of the National Schoolettes Program and School Breakfast Program. CEP is a meal service option that allows schools in other districts in high poverty areas to offer school meals at no cost to enroll students and families. You will still need to enter your student number whenever you go through the line in order for your meal to be covered. Students will still be able to purchase additional items from the cafeteria, such as ice cream and juice. Finally, a huge congratulations to Magnet's Teacher of the Year, Dr. Garner, who was a finalist to be RCPS Teacher of the Year. Dr. Garner has been teaching at Magnet since 2001 and is in his 31st year of teaching. Dr. Garner and the other two finalists were surprised with this news at the annual RCPS convocation. This was also one of Mr. Cox's first events as board member-elect. The Teacher of the Year celebration will be held September 26, 2024, where all school-level Teachers of the Year will be honored and the district winner will be named.
It's time for Look at Our Weather. Meteorologist Amira Robinson is back with us in the studio to tell us what we can expect this weekend and next week. Right, Amira?
Right, Ryan. Here's a look right now at our radar. Relatively quiet, and that's how it's going to remain over the next couple of days. Not too many chances of rain, at least for the next couple of days. High today is 91, and the low is 67. A short break from what we've been experiencing, but don't get too comfortable with that. Over the next couple of days, the high and low will increase. And here's our 7-day forecast. See what I mean? By the temperatures only going to increase, 95 will be the high of Thursday. And that will continue to the weekend. Notice how it's getting more cloudy as the week goes on? Well, that's because, bad news, 86% chance of rain and thunderstorms on Sunday, and that weather will only continue as we start the school week next week, guys.
Thanks, Amir, for that weather report, and great job on your first forecast. We can't wait to see more of your work later on this year. Now, before we go, we're launching a new segment, The Heart of Magnet. The Heart of Magnet will aim to bring you the better side of the news and show you what's going on in the daily lives of students and teachers around campus and how one action can make it all better.
Whether it's an act of kindness, someone helped you study really hard for a test, helped you through a tough time, or something else that you think would fit the segment, then we want to know about it. If someone you know has done something to put a smile on your day, teacher, student, administrator, etc., and you want us to highlight this in the new segment, scan the QR code.
And here's the QR code again for today's Have Your Say poll. Did you attend the Nacho and Game Night? Let us know and we'll let you know the results next time. Finally, the answer of today's Magnet Newsroom quiz. We asked you earlier in the show, what year did Magnet open? The answer to that is D, 2000.
And that's it for the Magnet Newsroom. I'm Ryan Rickstraw.
And I'm Matthew McCoy. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Magnet Newsroom. For the latest on all things Magnet, follow our school on social media. Like us on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Rockdale Magnet, and subscribe to us on YouTube at Magnet Newsroom. Make us a family tradition and watch on your smart TV or streaming device.